What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. And yes, I finally did the Dr. Claw face reveal. Because I'll get you next time, Gadget. Next time. But anyway, you might look at ESPN and they'll tell you that the narrative that they will present is that Caitlin Clark scored 20 points, but it wasn't enough because the Indiana Fever lost to the Seattle Storm 103-88. But it wasn't because of Caitlin Clark's efforts. She did all she could. But they conveniently leave out the fact that she shot 6 of 17 from the floor. And in troubling signs that she just cannot play point guard at the WNBA level, once again committed a barrel full of turnovers. Seven, pushing her to an average of close to 6 turnovers per game. Now, I think we all will agree that the pace of the WNBA is not as fast as the pace of the NBA. But yet Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double for the entire season, 4 out of 5 years, and put up monstrous numbers. But all people can look at, Skip Bayless and on downward, is his turnovers. That's all people kept talking about, his turnovers. His turnovers and his shooting percentage. That's all people talked about. Not it funny that these same people are conveniently ignoring Caitlin Clark's woeful efficiency. Sure, she's averaging about 17 points a game, but she's also committing nearly 6 turnovers per game versus something around 6 assists. So she gets a 1-to-1 turnover assist ratio. Putrid. She's shooting about 37% from the floor. And for a guy, I almost made a Freudian slip there. But for a woman who is supposedly the greatest shooter in female basketball history, she's shooting about 30% from downtown. 30%. Now, Angel Reese is also shooting 37%, but nobody ever proclaimed her to be a great shooter. And she's averaging about 12 points and 9 rebounds a game and over 4 offensive rebounds per game. So based upon their strengths and weaknesses, Angel Reese, is having a better season than the anointed one. Now, I still believe that Caitlin Clark can improve. Yeah, but this doesn't make her absolved from being criticized. It's amazing the hypocrisy in some of you all. It's fine when I criticize LeBron Ramon James or Kevin Durant or Kawhi Leonard or, Jaylen Brown when it needs be. That's fine and dandy. Hell, even the Luka Doncic fans tolerate my criticisms of him. But it's something with these Jokic fans and Caitlin Clark fans. Y'all just expect nothing, but y'all just as bad as the fan base for LeBron Ramon James. That's not how this thing works, man. Now, when Caitlin Clark plays better, I'll give her praise. But she's not playing well right now. Now, yeah, people have made the argument that teams are guarding her differently than they guard other players. But you know what? The same thing can be said of LeBron Ramon James. The same way could be said for Michael Jordan when he played. The same thing can be said of Wilt Chamberlain. I thought this is a once-in-a-lifetime player. I mean, I heard this was the greatest female basketball player ever. Do you think that anybody else during Wilt Chamberlain's time got guarded and schemed like he did? And he still put up, 37 and 25 a season in his prime. 50 and 25 one year, 44 and 6 another year. So, like my question is, why is she different if she's supposed to be the GOAT of women's basketball? Either she's the GOAT or she's a media creation. You know what I'm trying to say. She's just a creation for ticket sales. Of course, that's going to anger a lot of people, me saying that. But, and then, aside from the individual stats, some people could pivot and say, wins. Well, the team is having success. Well, it seems like the Fever are worse than they ever been. So she's not even having an impact with the points she's scoring. 1-8. Now, yes, I will say this. The coaching is bad. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But you know what? When I made the same point about Billy Donovan, when Katie was gone, and I used to say Billy Donovan was doing some things wrong, you can listen to some of my old videos if they're still up. Some of the videos I've taken down because YouTube has changed, and I probably was a rather bit risque in my language in those videos, so they might not be up there. But if there are some up there, go back in 2016, 17, you may hear me bring up Billy Donovan. Guess what? You guys didn't want to hear that. Russell Westbrook play on the team. He got better responsibility. The coach ain't out there playing. It's Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook out there turning the basketball. It ain't Billy Donovan. But fast forward, and Billy Donovan's the head coach of the Chicago Bulls, and what they doing? All that talent on that team, what they doing? Ask a Chicago Bulls fan, a real Chicago Bulls fan, and ask how good a job Billy Donovan's doing, see how they respond to you. But now, conveniently, it's the coaching that's the problem. All the problem with Caitlin Clark. None of her. None of the turnovers, not the missed shots, none of that. Nah, it's just all coaching. All excuses. Excuses. But maybe they'll turn it around. Maybe they'll turn around. And I think they play the Sky next, don't they? Let's see how the officiating is in that game. Oh, and the Sky won last night, didn't it? They beat the LA Sparks. The same team that's beaten the Fever 2 out of 3 times. The Sky dispatched them 83-73. So they're 500. Which I believe is more than what they've been projected to be. So the Sky are 3-3, so they're 500, and Caitlin Clark and the Fever are 1-8. Man, what is that? 1-8. What is that win percentage? Oh my God, 11% win percentage. That's the equivalency of a team only winning 9 games during the regular season in the NBA, which would tie the NBA record. So not only is Caitlin Clark a loser on the world stage, or on the big stage, as far as winning championships, she can't win a title in the NBA. She can't even win a game hardly in the WNBA. So I think the sports world owes the WNBA players an apology when they felt disrespected. Diana Taurasi said that Caitlin Clark and her fans will see there'll be a reality check when they come to the WNBA. Those players felt disrespected. Yeah, they should respect her to a certain extent, yes. But you know what? Michael Jordan had to still pay his dues. Even Michael Jordan had to pay his dues. He received the media endorsement and financial endorsements that a player had never received before who hadn't won anything. And a lot of the players resented it. And there may have been a freeze out. There may have not have been a freeze out. depending upon who you ask. Michael felt like there was one. But Michael had to earn that respect through a combination of actually putting up production and then ultimately on the grandest stage, winning. Caitlyn has done neither. And by the way, she keeps complaining about the officiating. I mean, Lord have mercy. All I keep seeing is all she does is whine and complain and yell at officials, yell at people. You know, interesting. Because you could easily make a narrative that she's a spoiled brat, a spoiled, entitled brat, already being pampered, already acting like, you know, her feces doesn't stink. But, you know, that's not what they're going to spin. You know, that's not what the Stephen A. Smiths and Molly Qurums, that's not what the Monica McNutts, that's not what they're going to spin. They're going to spin it like, you know, she just has this really horrible team, the worst team ever, and she's doing all she can, and it's all about promoting the product, not telling the truth. But anyway, that's all I got to say about it.